What you're looking at right here are the brand new Jabra Elite 85T earbuds, which are really exciting because essentially they took last year's 75Ts, one of my favorite pair of earbuds of all time, and they made all the right changes to it. They added active noise cancellation, Qi wireless charging, they added just a lot of things that I'll talk about later on in this video. But really, they're giving us a really strong contender for one of the best pairs of earbuds in 2020, and honestly, probably for most of 2021. So we have a lot to talk about in this video. I've always been a big fan of Jabra earbuds, but there are a few caveats that you want to be aware of. These are definitely not for everybody, so stick around. In this video, I'll give you a microphone test, an active noise cancellation test, a sound quality analysis, and everything else you'll need to know before considering buying these earbuds. Now, starting off, the first thing I want to talk about is what is actually new about the Jabra 85Ts compared to last year's 75Ts. So we already know that I like the 75Ts, and I'll talk more about that in a second, but the new things on here are, of course, the active noise cancellation. Now, Jabra did release an update, so the 75Ts have ANC, but it's not quite as good as this, so this is going to be significantly better. Again, I'll show you that later on in the video, but this also has, a slightly larger case, but still an excellent design here. I really like the shape of these cases overall. They're very compact, and I think out of all the earbuds cases out there, this is definitely my favorite design. So a really slim, compact design. It stands upright, very nice, satisfying lid on the top. And unlike the AirPods, which lay down all the time, these can stand upright while you're charging them. You can open them very easily, just have them on your desk. The indicators on the front, like everything about this case, I think they did a great job. And the texture on it is not quite the same as the Jabra Elite Active 75T. It's not that silicone soft coating. Now, when we open the case up, the earbuds are slightly different from the 75Ts. They now have a more open ear design. Now, I don't mean open ear like the first gen AirPods. Open ear meaning instead of a circle silicone tip, it's more of an oval. So it doesn't jab all the way in really deep in your ear canal. Instead, it fits pretty nicely. It still has a really good seal for passive noise blocking, which helps the ANC be even more effective. But you'll see that the overall shape of these is slightly bulkier than last year's 75T. So a little bit bigger. Most of that is to house the ANC and the more microphones on here, which again is another difference here. The 85Ts now have 6 microphones, so 3 per earbud. We'll test that out in a second, but definitely very exciting. Now, the Jabra Elite 85Ts are IPX4 water resistant, which means that they're okay for splashing, but I wouldn't try to run any kind of water on them. If you drop them in a puddle, they might take on some damage. So, they're not nearly as waterproof as this active 75Ts, but Jabra might release an active 85T pair in the next couple months. That's very likely. But really the biggest difference between these two, besides the ANC, is going to be that the Jabra Elite 85Ts have Qi wireless charging. So you can set it on a wireless charging pad, which is a fantastic feature to have. It's something I really complained about with the 75Ts, and I'm more than happy to see it on these. Now, as far as fit and comfort go with these earbuds, I found that putting them in, they're very comfortable at first. They don't jab nearly as deep into your ear canal like I mentioned, but once you find the right ear tip, they're definitely comfortable for a couple hours. I found for me, it's like 2.5 hours before I really want to change them or take them out, let my ears air out a little bit. But the good thing is you don't have that high pressure feeling when you put them in your ears. Like some active noise canceling earbuds just give you kind of a weird high pressure feeling. These do a great job of not giving you that feeling. So comfort is definitely pretty good. As far as like them staying in your ear, you can shake your head quite a bit. You could go for a run with these. They don't have a wingtip. I always wish that Jabra would maybe put a little wingtip on there to keep them in slightly better if you're doing more dynamic stuff. But if you're running, you're biking, they're gonna stay in really well. It's just once you start doing things like burpees or some more like inverted stuff, if you're working out and doing stuff like that, they might fall out. That's not unlikely. Now, I'll get into the app in a second to show you more of the features of these earbuds, but some of the big ones, the first one is actually that they have multi-pairing, which is really great because so many other earbuds just don't have that feature. And when I say so many, I mean the majority of the earbuds I review don't have that feature. So it's great that I can connect to my laptop and my phone, and then it'll just kind of automatically switch between them whenever I'm playing sound on one or the other. It's a great feature to have. And if you ever work with your phone and your laptop side by side, you'll know just how great that feature really is. Of course, they also have autoplay, auto pause feature. So when I put them in my ear, they automatically play. When I take them out, they automatically pause. All right, so now let's get into a microphone test. And this is what the Jabra Elite 85T earbuds sound like. Something really great about them. Again, I think Jabra just does a lot of things right with earbuds, but something they do when you're talking like on the phone, for example, or in a video like this where it's using the audio from your microphones, is it actually has the transparency mode on, so you can hear your own voice, so you don't end up yelling in public. And it's also just easier to talk when you can hear yourself. So comment down below. This is indoor, obviously a studio environment right here. I'm gonna go outside. Let me know how good this sounds to you first. All right, guys, I'm outside right now. It's a little breezy, a lot of traffic, diesel truck idling right there. So let me know if you can hear what I'm saying, how clear this sounds to you. Also, I mentioned the side tone sounded pretty good. It actually sounds really good even out here. All right, guys, now I just want to get into a quick ANC test. This is going to be just for relative magnitude only. It's not a perfect test, but it should give you a relative idea of how powerful these are compared to some of the top brands. So starting with the Jabras right here, I'm going to play some white noise on my laptop, and if we turn it up, we can get to about volume 35, 36, maybe even 37. So somewhere between volume 35 and 37 without hearing any of that white noise with these earbuds. And that's extremely powerful. Now, just for reference, these are the AirPods Pro, and if I turn it up, about volume 26 or 27 is where I can hear that. So the Jabras are already significantly more powerful than the AirPods. Now going to the brand new Bose Quiet Comfort, which have very powerful noise cancellation. These are roughly about volume 28 before I can start hearing that sound. And now lastly, the reigning champ, the Sennheiser earbuds here. If we turn the volume up, so these seem to be about volume 35. So guys, I think I'm just gonna have to go ahead and say it. The Jabra Elite 85Ts are the new king for active noise cancellation. So of course, mechanical design and microphone quality are going to be important when you're buying earbuds, but probably one of the most important aspects would be the sound quality itself. So getting into an analysis of the sound quality, the first thing is actually the codecs. So these unfortunately do not have aptX on there. Instead, they just have SBC and AAC. That's similar to what we saw last year with the Jabras. They still sound really good with that, but I'll talk about what that actually means for the sound quality. It's pretty congruent with the balance of them as well. We'll talk about that in a second. But overall, what is the balance like on these earbuds? Well, as we saw with the Jabra 80 or 75Ts last year, Jabra likes to be heavier on the bass side, and the Jabra 75Ts, I said for a lot of people last year, might even be too much bass. These, they dialed it back a little bit, so it's slightly less bass than last year, but it's still going to have a pretty big swell in the lower half of the frequency spectrum. The bass is really all getting picked up, which for most music is going to sound more energized, more vibrant, more exciting. It's going to be really fun to listen to for like a casual listener. If you're just trying to listen to like some rock or some rap, like a lot of mainstream music is going to sound really, really good with these earbuds. But if you're really looking for the small details, if you're an audiophile and you care a lot about the fine details across all of the music, you might find that with the neutral balance on these earbuds, the bass notes are going to be really big. They're going to probably flood out a lot of the higher guitar notes and a lot of the higher vocals, some of the overtones. They might get drowned out by the big bass. Now, with that being said, you can still hear like every single string in the guitar. They do a great job of having that low-level detail, especially once you're able to go into the EQ on the app and adjust things to a more natural, realistic balance. But overall, I would say for the sound quality of these, they're very exciting. They're excellent for listening to a lot of bigger music out there. So like I said, a lot of rock, a lot of rap. I have a playlist that I tested these with on Spotify. I'll link that down below. But in there's a song by Moonhooch. I think that's a great example of what these earbuds do really well. It's just like a really big, full song with a lot of like drums and saxophone and stuff like that in there. So that kind of music is going to sound excellent on these earbuds. But like I said, this is not going to be the most accurate representation of what the music actually sounded like. It's going to be a more fun, vibrant version, which for a lot of people, especially if you're working out, is going to give you a great listening experience. So sound quality on these, I was definitely happy with. The only other thing I found was, as far as lag or latency goes, I got 420 milliseconds was what I was measuring. And other than that, I found that maybe snares might be a little bit compressed from time to time, especially on the left earbud for some reason. And that leads me into another thing with these earbuds. So something Jabra has kind of struggled with for a little while now is that they occasionally have some connectivity issues. I didn't experience many. I experienced maybe 1 or 2 cutouts in the week I was using these, and they weren't really bad. It would just like cut out for half a second. It sounded weird, but then it would just pick right back up where it was. And then, like I said, the compression on the snares in the left earbud seemed to be more so than the right. That might be something that they'll update and fix that. Jabra has been pretty good about updating their earbuds with as much as they can. So I wouldn't think that's going to be a problem for anybody. But guys, let's get into the app now. I talked about before, we have some features that we want to look at in the app and the EQ in the app. So if we just go, it's going to be the Jabra Sound Plus app. So let me just open that up right now. Now, as far as apps for earbuds go, now that these have active noise cancellation, I would say that this is probably one of my favorite apps for earbuds because we have those 3 different presets. So we have the My Moment one, which you can go down here and you can change the ANC level, or you could have hear through on if you want. You can change the equalizer. Let's undo that. You can change like the music preset, and then there's like white or pink noise at the bottom. If you're interested in that, you can tap on like see all the different ones they have. If you're trying to take a nap, that could be a nice thing to have. Especially with ANC, you could really block out a lot of sounds around you between the white noise, the ANC, and the passive noise blocking. I mean, you're not going to hear anything. Other than that, you can go across to like a commute version or a focus mode, and you can customize all of these, like I said. So instead of going through your settings every single time you get on the train or you go to your office or whatever you're doing, you go to workout, like it's easy to just switch between those. I really like that. At the top, it tells you the battery levels. And if we go to settings on the top right, you'll see that we actually, again, have some more things. We can update the firmware. And then below that, you'll have some basic settings you can adjust. So like the audio experience right here, you can have auto play or auto pause turning on and off. And you can change hear through, stuff like that. And then you can go down to the call experience, and this is going to be like hearing your own voice, like I mentioned before. If you want that, the side tone is what they're calling it. You can turn that on or off. And then during a call, you can actually have a separate equalizer. So maybe more treble would be good for these so that you hear the voices in a more natural, clean way. And then, of course, headset configuration is going to do things with the battery and like voice guidance on the bottom. You have a lot of really great settings in here that I don't see with a lot of other earbuds. Now, you can also go down to personalize these, and that is going to be like your tailored equalizer right here. It gives you like a quick little test where it asks you when you can hear certain things, and it's supposed to customize that for your own ears. And you can also control the button functionality. So my controls for media right there, you can go and choose. Like I said, the controls are really functional on here. The single press, you can actually customize that on the left side or the right side to play and pause, to do really, as you can see, this entire list of different things you can do. So I love that it's fully customizable with the buttons. That's a fantastic feature that I wish every pair of earbuds did. And I always hate when they don't utilize all of the functionality. So 3 presses per side, 6 total commands there. I think that's a fantastic feature to have on these earbuds. So once again, I think Jabra just really does a lot of things right. Looking down here, there's really not a whole lot else we want to talk about. All right, so there's a lot of really great things about the Jabra Elite 85T earbuds, but there are a couple drawbacks you want to be aware of as well. The first one is that it's a master-slave bud connection style. So what that means is you can never just listen to the left earbud when the right one is in the case, because the earbuds are connected by the right earbud to your device, and then the left earbud connects to the right earbud. So it's not my favorite setup for connection, and it's definitely a drawback right here. But other than that, I also found that the IPX4 water resistance rating, I wish it was a little bit better. If you drop these in a puddle, it is likely that they would take on damage. So, I mean, just make sure you don't drop them in a puddle. But other than that, I mean, really the only differences you'll notice that I liked about the 75T is I thought the 75Ts were a little bit more comfortable because it is a more compact design. And on top of that, the button was also a little bit gentler on the 75T, so it's a little bit stiffer here. But realistically speaking, I think this is a very, very strong contender for one of the best pairs of earbuds in 2020. I'll be making a full comparison of my picks for the best earbuds in 2020 in the next couple weeks. So if you want to see that, go down and click the subscribe button and the bell icon. If you're watching this not at release, I might have already made that, so go on down and check if I put the link in the description for that video. If you guys like this video, again, consider liking and subscribing, and comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Jabra Elite 85T earbuds. I think it's a great pick. I think it's a solid buy to go after these, but let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.